All right, so are you ready for this? We are going deep today, like really deep.
Deep.
We're talking NFL trade rumors, the kind that could shake up the entire league. Think Kansas City Chiefs, think Super Bowl, think Christian Kirk.
Whoa, now hold on. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
That's the fun of it though, right? We're diving into all the juicy speculations surrounding this potential trade.
Yeah.
We've got our hands on this article. Joe Summers, he really dug into this whole thing.
Summers knows his stuff, yeah.
Yeah, he lays out a really compelling argument here, both sides. The Chiefs and the Jacksonville Jaguars, what's the benefit for them, you know?
I'm intrigued. Let's hear it.
So Summers starts off, right off the bat, he says the Chiefs, and there's no secret or anything, the Chiefs could use some help at wide receiver. We all see that.
They've got some holes to fill, for sure.
Exactly, and that's where Christian Kirk comes in,
Yeah.
right? And there's this quote from some ESPN analyst he called Kirk sure-handed, and I'm thinking, okay, what does that even mean, for a team like the Chiefs? What does that actually look like on the field?
Because sure-handed in the Chiefs' offense, that's a whole other level. We're talking about a team that moves at warp speed.
Right, like Mahomes is making these crazy throws, no-look passes, the whole thing.
You got to be able to read his mind almost, be in the right place at the right time. It's about more than just catching the ball. It's about that trust, that connection with Mahomes. Clutch catches when it matters most. They got to be on the same wavelength.
So it sounds like Kirk has got the hands, but is there more to it? What else makes him a good fit, potentially, for Kansas City?
Okay, picture this. Christian Kirk, he can line up anywhere. Slot, outside, you name it. That versatility, man, that's gold for a team like the Chiefs. Defenses can't key in on him. They don't know where he's coming from. Plus, you're talking about a guy who's 28 that's like prime time for a receiver. Experience, athleticism, the whole package.
So he's not some rookie who's still figuring it out. He's been there, done that.
Exactly. He's got the experience to thrive under pressure, but he's still got those fresh legs.
All right, so we're talking a reliable receiver, makes those tough catches, keeps the defense guessing. I mean, on paper, it sounds like a match, right? Is this the missing piece? Is this what puts the Chiefs over the top?
Hold your horses. We're not quite there yet. We got to factor in what Kirk's been doing lately, and let me tell you, the man's on fire. Over the past 3 weeks with the Jaguars, get this, 26 targets, 19 catches, 228 yards, and a touchdown.
He's hot, hot, hot.
Red hot. So that changes things, doesn't it? The Jaguars are seeing this guy come alive. Does that make them more likely to keep him? Or is this the moment they cash in? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. Strike while the iron's hot. Get something for him while they can.
Exactly. It's a gamble either way. Do you hold on to a valuable asset hoping he keeps playing like this? Or do you see his value peaking and make a move?
So how does Kirk's performance factor into this whole trade idea?
We got to look at the Jaguars situation here. There's been a lot of talk about them heading for a rebuild, and if that's the case, well, that changes everything.
Okay, so what does a rebuild actually mean, like in the NFL? Break it down for us.
It's like hitting the reset button, you know? They're saying, all right, this isn't working. We need to build for the future. They want those draft picks. They want to develop young talent. And sometimes that means making tough choices, parting ways with good players.
Even if those players are having a moment.
Especially then, right? If they're thinking long-term, trading Kirk now while his value is high, it makes a lot of sense. Get those draft picks, build a foundation.
And those draft picks, they're like gold in the NFL, right?
Exactly. That's how you build a dynasty. That's how you become a perennial contender. Draft smart, develop talent. It's all about positioning yourself for long-term success.
So for the Jaguars, this all makes sense, maybe. But what about the Chiefs? Are they really going to help out a team that, let's face it, could be a rival down the road? And what's the price tag here? What are they giving up?
Well, Summers, in his article, he suggests that the Chiefs might be willing to part with Skyy Moore, wide receiver.
Really? Okay, so what's the thinking there? Why would the Chiefs give up on him, especially in a trade like this?
It sounds like, and this is just speculation, of course, but it sounds like Moore might need a change of scenery, you know? Sometimes a player just doesn't quite fit in with a team, doesn't reach their full potential, and a trade can actually be a win-win. Fresh start.
Right, new team, new opportunity, makes sense. But back to the Chiefs for a second. It's interesting that they'd be willing to make this move at all, right? I mean, they're all about winning now. They're not known for their patience.
And that's what makes this so intriguing. This potential trade, even if it falls apart, it tells us a lot about their mindset, you know? They're not messing around. They see a chance to improve, to get an edge. They're going to explore it no matter what.
So they're not afraid to make a big splash. But does this, I don't know, does it change how we view their overall approach? Like, free agency is coming up. Do they go all in there too?
It definitely suggests that they're not going to be shy, right? They're looking at every avenue to get better.
Okay.
Trades, free agency, you name it. They want that Super Bowl.
It's all about the Lombardi Trophy. But, okay, let's talk about Christian Kirk for a second. We talked about those stats. Those last 3 weeks have been huge for him. But beyond the numbers, what are we seeing from him on the field? What's the eye test tell us?
That's the key, isn't it? Because stats don't always tell the whole story. What's impressive about Kirk, it's not just the catches, it's how he's making them. He's creating separation, finding those holes in the defense.
He's making it easy for his quarterback,
Yes,
basically.
exactly. And that's something that translates to any team. You put him in a system like Kansas City's with a quarterback like Mahomes.
Oh, man, the possibilities.
Right. But that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Would they actually mesh well together? On paper, it looks good. Kirk's got the hands. He can make plays. He brings that veteran presence. But football's not played on paper. It's that chemistry, that X factor, that's the gamble.
High risk, high reward. That's what makes this so much fun to talk about. So, as we're wrapping up here, what's the one big takeaway you want listeners to remember from all of this?
It's all about the bigger picture, you know? The Chiefs, they're making a statement. Win now. They're not waiting around.
It's a bold strategy, that's for sure.
Uh,
But how long can they keep that up, right? It's got to be tough to balance building for the future while also chasing a championship in the present.
It's a tightrope walk, no doubt. And there's no easy answer. But that's what makes these decisions so fascinating. It's high stakes, it's strategic, there's a lot on the line.
No margin for error.
Yeah.
But let's bring it back to our listeners for a second. Why should they care about all of this? What's the takeaway beyond just the world of football?
I think there's a lesson here, you know? It's about recognizing opportunities, being decisive, and not being afraid to make a move.
Taking risks.
Exactly. Whether it's in business, in your personal life, whatever it is. Sometimes you gotta go for it, even if it means shaking things up.
Sometimes you got to go big or go home, right?
That's what the Chiefs are doing. They're all in. And win or lose, you gotta respect that.
Absolutely. And that's what makes them so exciting to watch. Well, folks, that just about wraps up our deep dive into this potential Chiefs trade.
Trade deadline's coming up, though. Things could get wild.
Oh, we'll be watching, trust me. And we'll be back to break it all down for you right here on the deep dive. Thanks for listening, everyone.